And welcome to Netflix and Kill. Oh man, Travis, I am so excited. Oh, wait a minute, Travis is not here. Oh no! I was all excited to talk about Tropic Thunder. Who am I going to talk Tropic Thunder with? Oh, wait a minute. I know who. Randy, buddy.
Yeah. What's going on, man? I was just killing off a panda, and I'm sorry, her name was Amanda. But
your name was
anyway,
Amanda.
What can I do for you?
That sounds rough, buddy. I don't know if you sound pretty busy, but and before you go and run and get that lime, I would love to talk some Tropic Thunder with you today.
Oh yeah, I love Tropic Thunder. Let's do it.
For those of you listening at home, Randy Lander, he runs his own comic book shop. He is one of the podcasters on the podcast TV Dudes, as well as the Roguecast. So what are some of the other projects? I know you do some. You do a lot of stuff. That's for sure.
I also I did a Beach Cop Detectives, which was a Terriers podcast.
Oh, how could I forget Terriers? Of course.
And that's all my current projects. I record over at TV Dudes, which is part of the Permanent Record Network.
Permanent Record.
Yes.
Obviously, I am a fan of your work, and I'm very excited to be talking to you today about one of my favorite movies. Now, Randy, I am so glad when we asked you, like, what movie would you like to pick? When you picked Tropic Thunder, I'm like, oh, that's on Netflix?
Oh, come on, man. Don't you down me, Foley!
I'm sorry, can we cut? Maybe.
What is going on here? Hey, I'm about to jump out this helicopter like Wesley Snipes.
I'm doing the scene right now.
What scene? The scene is about emotionality. Where is it?
Oh, God! I am dealing with a bunch of prima donnas.
The action guy who left the fridge open. The award winner.
Critically acclaimed Australian actor Kirk Lazarus underwent a controversial procedure in order to play the platoon's African-American sergeant.
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. The comedian.
You think you can do what I do? Take a picture of this.
This summer.
Want to make this movie right? We take those boys up there, put them in the trees, shoot the whole thing guerrilla style. Real fear in their eyes.
Yes!
The movie they think they're making
Exterior, rainforest, dusk, cut to a frightening jungle.
isn't a movie anymore.
I'm gonna make it. So what?
This feels pretty real!
Exactly. Let's use it. Taking a speed, man.
Some of us might not make it back.
What do you mean? Like, not on the same flight?
Who sent you here?
Hey, dude, you alright? Totally lean into that, bro. You wanna do one more?
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Tropic Thunder.
To go a lot of trying just to get up that hill. Now we up in the big league.
That's the theme song for the Jeffersons.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You out of your mind?
What?
You really need help.
And just because the theme song don't make it not true.
I've not watched this movie in forever, so it's a great chance to revisit. But for the few people who have not seen Tropic Thunder, would you like to give a brief synopsis of what the movie is about?
Yeah, so Tropic Thunder is a action comedy movie about a group of sort of these prima donna actors who are making a movie set during the Vietnam War, and things go awry fairly quickly, and they wind up in a real jungle thinking they're in a movie when they're actually being stalked by a drug cartel.
It's quite the setup. And yeah, this movie, it was interesting. It was actually the first time I watched this movie, I actually did not like it, believe it or not. And I don't know if it was just the mood I was in, but I watched it like a month after it came out with a bunch of friends of mine. And then I completely did a 180 on the movie. I was just like, oh my God, this movie's brilliant. Like, what was wrong with me that day?
I've had movies like that. This is one where I actually, because I was a fan of Ben Stiller as a director, especially, going back to like Reality Bites and his own TV show, and I like Robert Downey Jr., I saw this, and I had this notion when I saw the trailers that, that might be good, but it kind of looks stupid. and I never saw it. And then some friends of mine, one of whom is a very critical of movies, saw it and really liked it, and so I made a point to see it. And then I had it in my head, oh, this is good, and I was pretty happy with the results. Yeah, so I loved it pretty much right on. But my expectations was that I wasn't going to like it.
Yes, and yeah, the director is Ben Stiller, and he's actually puts out some pretty competent stuff directorial wise. I'm very impressed with him. But the rest of this cast is pretty interesting too, because we have Robert Downey Jr. as Kirk Lazarus. We have Ben Stiller, of course, playing the lead as Tug Speedman. We have Jay Baruchel as Kevin, but no one can ever remember his name is Kevin. We have Jack Black as Jeff Portnoy, as a kind of a what do you call him? Clumps, like a Meet the Clumps type actor that he's portraying. Like, except they call him the fatties or the fats.
The fatties, yep.
The fatties, that's right. And then we have Anthony, or was it this is by like here. We have Danny McBride as one of the crew, the pyrotechnic, and so just a bunch of people that normally I'm like, ooh, I like these people in small doses, but they a lot of these people have like their shtick that can sometimes grate on me. Like, you know, Danny McBride is not always my favorite actor, but when he's on, he's on. Same with kind of Jack Black. Jay Baruchel is kind of hit and miss for me too. So this was a very interesting cast. But I don't know about you, but I feel like they're all firing on all cylinders in this movie.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, I'm right there with you, especially on Danny McBride. Danny McBride's charms mostly elude me. Like, I can't stand most of his HBO show. I can't stand Eastbound and Down. I feel like he's playing the one character. I liked him a little bit in This Is the End, where he's again basically he actually is playing himself. But in general, I find Danny McBride more obnoxious than funny. And in this, it's like it's just the perfect amount. It's like how the wrong spice can just destroy a dish, but the right amount of it is perfect. This is just the right amount of Danny McBride sprinkled in. And maybe he just needs to work with Nick Nolte more. I don't know. The two of them bounce off each other well.
Oh my God, Nick Nolte in this movie. Okay, so can we talk about Nick Nolte?
Yeah, let's talk about Nick Nolte.
Oh my God. So he's playing because this movie is based off of a real experience in the movie that this guy wrote the book on. He's the guy with 2 hooks for hands, because apparently he deflected a grenade, and it's of course played by the ever gravelly voiced Nick Nolte, who has no time for anyone's shit. And he's amazing. I love his he gets a moment early in this film that's like the Quint from Jaws scene, where he's in the background and he's just like, I'll take care of these actors for you. You pay me enough and I'll give you the head, the tail, the whole damn oh no, that's not the right line. But we have failed to mention one actor that I think needs a special intro here, which is Tom Cruise.
Man, Tom Cruise is so good here.
Oh my God. Every time Tom Cruise comes on scene in this movie, it becomes the Tom Cruise show. And normally that would be a bad thing, but it's absolutely fantastic. I love his producer character. Let me see if I can't find his name, because he has a kind of a silly name. Les Grossman, yes.
Les Grossman.
That is a producer name. That is the producer name if I've ever heard one.
And he's in sort of amazing prosthetics. He's got this big hairy chest. He's got the sort of bulky fat fingers, balding. It's an amazing look.
His intro is he goes to Steve Coogan, who's playing the director, and he like calls him over a Skype call, and he's like, "So okay, who's here?" He's like, "You're trying to set up the Skype so he can see who's the fuck face that is ruining my movie. That guy right there. Okay, who's the biggest grip? Go and punch that director right in the fucking face." And I love the grip just looks like. Yeah, this is like the grip definitely has this look on his face, like this has happened before. Like this is a business as usual.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sorry about this, man, but I have to. I have kids to feed, and just bam, and it's not. Steve Coogan even he starts spitting up blood too. Like it's not a soft hit. So yeah, Tom Cruise is just fucking nailing it in this movie here as this shitty producer.
Also, shout out to Bill Hader, who plays his sort of suck up associate producer assistant guy
in the background. backing him up.
Little bits, but he's so good at being a weasel.
Yes. He's basically that guy, the bully, when the bully is coming to pick on you, and then he's always got that guy in the back that goes, "You heard the boss," and just but in this producer setting of just like, I love it. But yeah, this movie is very interesting because we didn't even get to talk about Robert Downey Jr. in this, who is playing an Australian actor who gets so into his role that he gets a pigmentation surgery done on himself to basically play this role in blackface.
So that's one thing I want to talk about this movie that I think is really interesting, is that it's both action movie and comedy, and it does both really well, but it's also sort of Hollywood spoof, and it opens with those amazing trailers, which we should talk about.
Oh,
but
yes.
it steps on a couple landmines. Like I haven't heard from a lot of people who have problems with this, but I could see someone having a problem with this movie because basically Robert Downey Jr. is making fun of the notion of blackface by doing blackface in a way.
It is the ballsiest thing I've seen in this movie. It is just, and you are right. I have not heard. This seemed to have went under the radar when it came out. Like, and I'm not sure. Robert Downey Jr. must have just towed the line of, since he's making fun of the concept of blackface while doing it. I think he just barely he just gets away with it, and I find that so fascinating. That, do you think you could do this movie today and do that? Like I don't think so.
I don't think so. And that's what actually I was kind of wondering, is like, is this one of those movies that sort of just escaped everybody's notice? And if it had a revival or something, would it just be torn apart on the internet? And I don't know. Or do they get away with it? Because, I mean, I do think that, and there's also the other thing that's in there is that the whole, simple Jack, never go full retard, which is super offensive.
I know.
And yet in the context of it, that these guys aren't supposed to be like the most sensitive or nice of guys, and it's not the film is advocating for it, it's that they're making a joke that's uncomfortable. And the question that it definitely hits that line of what is acceptable in comedy and what isn't. And I think in general they stay on the right side of that line. But I'm interested that there hasn't been any pushback that I've seen.
It's a tightrope for sure, but I think that, I mean, that was even a catchphrase, is never go full retard at that point.
Yeah.
And excuse my terminology, because I know that's the word has become so overused in its other context that it's just no longer PC anymore. But when they're talking about it, like, oh, Forrest Gump, like, was he fully retarded? No, it's just a little slow. Like, the concept they're talking about is not untrue. Like, I think that's what really sells it, of just like, oh man, he's actually, as offensive as he's being right now, he's bringing up a point about Hollywood and the decisions actors make when they're portraying mentally challenged people. So I think maybe that's what gets away with it, because there's some form of the joke that is, in its purest essence, trying to say something.
I think you're right. It's basically it's trying to attack. It's basically calling out Hollywood on its hypocrisy about how it treats people with mental illness or mental deficiency. And so the joke is not on anyone who would be classified by the term. It's on people who are trying to use it to win easy Oscars.
Yes.
But yeah, it is one of those dangerous jokes where basically it's funny in the movie, but then if somebody comes out spouting it and callbacking to it, it becomes less funny and more offensive.
It's very interesting. This movie, I feel like it's kind of like a encapsulation of Hollywood at the time, and it shows that Ben Stiller is not afraid to make fun of the Hollywood system and his friends, and like how all that sort of thing works. I mean, we haven't even talked about Matthew McConaughey, who's in this and playing his agent, and his agent is like this needy, just like the hanger-on of like a friend of his that is so obsessed with getting him this TiVo, and it's just like it's trying to like placate, like, hey, are you okay? Are you happy? He's like that friend that is always trying to check if you're having a good time. And and he's like, and you're like, I was, but now you're making me insecure about how good of a time I'm having, and that you keep asking me.
Well, he's also the sort of the showbiz enabler, the guy who enables his client's worst, most narcissistic instincts. And at the same time, I think it's interesting because the traditional agent character that we see is like Ari Gold in Entourage, the super confident, slimy guy. Matthew McConaughey is, in a way, he's one of the most genuine characters in the movie. Like, He is a guy who really wants to do well by his client because he considered him his buddy. It's a really fun take.
Yeah, I don't know when I turned on, because at first I thought like, oh, he's just playing Tug Speedman, playing him around. He's not really his friend.
Sure.
But I think there's a certain point even near the end where he has a crisis of faith and he turns around and you go, wow, that guy was his friend. He really, and it was, I don't know, it was kind of sweet. Like, I mean, it's during the most ridiculous part of the movie, but I thought it was actually a really fun character resolution for him, which was nice. With a movie full of asshole types characters, with insecurities abound, it's nice to have one guy that was like, oh, that guy was being true to himself. It was being genuine to his friend. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Oh, but insecurities abound though too, because I love that Robert Downey Jr. is playing a guy who's going so method that he doesn't even when he knows that it's not a movie anymore, he doesn't break character. Like, right. Because he's trying to convince Ben Stiller, like, the movie is not going off, man. Like, this is ridiculous. It's not happening anymore. We're in real danger. And Ben Stiller's like, yeah, well, then why are you still in character? And I think he fires back with something like, I don't break character until I do the commentary on the DVD. And it's just so you could feel the ego on screen. I was wondering how much of that was, Robert Downey Jr. kind of looking into himself with that ego-ness there, but it's a great turn, that's for sure.
That's a good point, actually. I hadn't even considered, Downey Jr. had this reputation as a bad boy actor for a long time, and I think that there was a lot of him in that character.
It's always nice to see a guy who can make fun of his own, faults or whatever. I think he was laughing at himself a little bit in this movie, which I think comes across. It's
also funny that Tom Cruise is in this movie because Ben Stiller is very much playing a Tom Cruise type.
Yes.
He's the action movie fading action star who wants his Oscar, wants his big, prestige pick, and is just kind of out of his depth. And I thought that at the same time, Cruise was sort of stretching himself here to play this sort of overbearing comedy character. We're watching the fake Tom Cruise try to stretch himself in the movie, and I thought that was really interesting.
Well, it does point to me that Tom Cruise can make fun of himself, but only when he's portraying someone that's so radically different from him, he's not really making fun of himself.
That's true.
Yeah, so close.
But Tom Cruise had to be self-aware enough to know that Ben Stiller was doing a character riff on him. I mean, that
you'd think, but
Ben Stiller did do. The reason I think that Ben Stiller did a Tom Cruise character for MTV Movie Awards. He played Tom Cruise, and I think he spelled it differently, who was Tom Cruise's stuntman, and he was this like overenthusiastic stuntman, and Tom Cruise was in on those gags, and I feel like this was an extension of all the work he did there.
Yeah, I guess it's easier to take jabs from a friend and colleague because
right.
It comes from a place of love. Kind of like a roast thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, he does a great turn. And there's also, we didn't talk about one of the other main crew, which is Brandon T. Jackson plays Al Pacino.
Yeah, he's great.
He's really good. I think he's also a counterbalance to Robert Downey Jr.'s character because he keeps bringing up like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? Like when he's he's using Ebonics and stuff, and you have Brandon T. Jackson there to kind of check him on everything, which I think helps with it. I don't know. Somehow it just does not come across as offensive to me. But again, I'm not the person that would be offended by this. I'm not the target demographic, so hard to say.
I think because there's there's one of the funniest lines is when he says, what do you mean, you people? And Pacino says, what do you mean, you people?
What do you? And they kind of all start to argue back and forth like there's this three-way argument going on. It reminds me of Archer actually a lot. Of when multiple characters will kind of argue and talk over each other. A very funny sequence. So I'm not sure if we should talk about my favorite kill of the movie because it happens very early. I don't know if we want to leave that for spoilers.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's early, but it's a big turn. We should probably. Yeah. I think I know exactly what you're talking about because we should leave that one for later.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it for later. But it is, it's so good, guys. There's a lot of unexpected gore in this movie. Like, I don't know why I wasn't expecting, because it's a harsh movie. It's rated R. And I was just, I don't know why I was not expecting to be as just bloody and kind of like there's bits of people going around. There's just all sorts of crazy shit. But yeah, it's just really well written, I think, is the comedy in here. I really like the dialogue between the characters. I like all these different people kind of bouncing off each other. Jack Black's character has this drug habit problem, and he's in the middle of a big drug ring at a certain point, and he's got to like resist temptation, and they have to tie him to a tree. Jay Baruchel is basically the straight man here, which is an interesting take. He's kind of like the young kid actor that is both Tug and Kirk are trying to pull to each of their sides when they're having the argument. Yep. There's a lot of inner character drama that's actually going on, which is pretty interesting.
Well, you mentioned the screenplay, you mentioned the writing, and it's interesting. The screenplay on this is Ben Stiller, but it's also Justin Theroux, the actor from The Leftovers of all things, but he's also a writer. And I think, and the two of them, there's also another Ethan Cohen is also credited, but I looked at the credits as it's rolling, and I'm like, oh, that's right, Justin Theroux was involved in writing this.
Yeah,
and he's written other stuff.
I guess I just don't think of him as a writer right off the top of my head. So but yeah, some really great dialogue in here. You know, with some of these rated R comedies that we've been getting, this was before like The Hangover and like the glut of comedies like Bridesmaid, which are funny movies, but they all started to kind of get the same type of how should I say, like kind of just situational humor where everything is kind of just like there's like different events are kind of tied together loosely by a plot. And this movie does have a kind of narrative of like an action movie. Like there's, they're trying to save this movie, but it ends up having to be, them getting in a real situation and having to work their way out of it. So it's like a full story with a beginning, middle, and end, which is it's just interesting.
For sure. The thing that I grew up on a lot of these sort of 80s action comedies, Lethal Weapon and Beverly Hills Cop, Midnight Run, Running Scared, where there was this absolute balance between, it was definitely a comedy, but it was also the action movie. They didn't leave it. The action movie wasn't just there to be a plot for the comedy. It was also an action movie plot. So you have like Running Scared is about two goofy cops having a good time, but it's also about them taking on an evil drug lord. And Beverly Hills Cop is a very serious, like also a drug lord. It was the 80s, but the notion of sort of this action movie built into it, where the action isn't just there for goofs. Tropic Thunder is a little closer to the comedy side of it, but when they do sort of the infiltration of the compound at the end, I won't spoil too much, but the big sort of infiltration action scene at the end, there's a whole lot of sort of fuck yeah fist pumping you get out of a good action movie, as much as there is the comedy.
There's definitely moments where you're with the team and their successes as they stumble through them. But yeah, other than that, I can't really talk about too much else of the movie without going into too much spoilers. But I did want to talk about the trailers in the beginning before we got out of here.
It's such a great way to establish what this movie is.
So if you guys are watching this on Netflix, which I'm assuming before you watch this, or if you haven't decided to watch it yet, please give it a watch on Netflix. They have, when the movie starts up, you will see previews. Like, how we used to watch on DVDs when we were kids, or VHSs? I know you youngins, you don't even remember that anymore, but this is what we used to do. And it's great because they play right in front. There's no indicator that they're not, real trailers or everything. So when this was in the theater, I'm assuming it was probably confusing at first, but we get great introductions to each character, and basically just this offshoot world that is like this parody of Hollywood, and it's great. We get what are some of them?
Well, it opens with Al Pacino's Booty Sweat and Bust a Nut Bars ad, which it says are available on the concession stand, which is great, and then it jumps to I believe it is Tug Speedman's Scorcher 6.
Yes.
Which is this action movie franchise, which has some of the best cheesy lines. Like, I have a friend of mine that we quote all the time, the "Who left the fridge open?"
Who left the fridge open?
And here we go again.
Again.
And the voiceovers, it's such a dead perfect riff on Hollywood. He's talking about, and then no one saw it coming 3 more times. And they do that. Then they do the Fatties 2, Fart something. I don't remember what the actual title was. That is a straight up, yeah, you mentioned it's a Clumps riff, and it's as dumb and as perfect a riff on those as you can find. And the music they use is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is Can't Touch This by MC Hammer.
Yes.
Which is like the perfect one.
What's great is that they feel like real trailers for real movies. Like you could
for sure.
you can almost go like, oh my God, I think I've seen a movie just like this, and just like it feels so real. It's really good. But the Robert Downey Jr. one has to be my favorite one.
Satan's Alley.
Satan's Alley. Even the title is cracking me up.
Another great music use because it's Enigma's like monk chant electronica thing over the story of two gay monks, which is the most indie looking movie you can ever imagine. It's so ridiculous. It's perfect.
And the look on Tobey Maguire's face when they like interlock hands. Guys, if you don't want to give the whole movie watch, I understand. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but at least watch these trailers. They're so good. They're just so pitch perfect. I absolutely love it. But yeah, anything else we want to mention real quick before we just go into a spoiler section?
No, I think that's it. Oh, okay. I did want to say, I think it's kind of cool because right after we get those trailers, we get the shot of the actual like Vietnam War footage, and it looks like, oh, this is the action, this is the big action movie, and they play it fairly straight until they reveal that it's a movie within a movie, even though we all know that. Mm-hmm. And I think they did a good job of like you say, establishing the world before we get into the parody of the world.
Yeah, there's some great effects going on in that opening sequence. Although I do love when Tug Speedman has his platoon moment, which is just this great, like, arms up in the air, the music swells, and he's just flopping on the ground in slow motion. And it's just the way his, like, mouth, like, his jowls are moving the whole time is just this great parody. It's just a ridiculous parody of Platoon that I really like. But yeah, since this is your first time, Randy, we usually like to give ratings. There's no real set number system. My co-host gives it out of 10. I give it out of 5. It's just basically a general scale of how much we recommend the movie. Maybe not even how much we like it. But for this one, my God, it kind of depends. Comedies are hard. So for those of you listening, you kind of know what you like with a comedy. If you like the South Park kind of level of humor that's really dirty, but there's really something clever kind of going on underneath, I highly recommend this. I really couldn't recommend it higher. I watched it again, and despite the controversial, like, aspects to it, I find it still holds up. It still skates away with it. Maybe that will change over time, but right now I give it a 5 out of 5. I can't highly recommend this enough. It's actually one of my favorite comedies in the recent decade, I believe. But how about you, Randy?
Very much the same. I keep thinking I'm going to go back to it, and it's not going to hold up as well. I'm going to think it's dumb or insensitive or not as funny. But yeah, it never fails to crack me up. It's really well executed. I would give this like a solid 8 out of 10 for comedies.
8 out of 10. So solid ratings. Highly recommends from either of us. Now, if you guys want to just stick around for the spoiler section, that'll be great. We're going to talk about some of the other great kills and some of the other jokes in this movie. But if you don't, check out some of our back catalog on Netflix, or not Netflix and Kill. We're up on iTunes under the UGO moniker. But if you want to check out Randy's stuff, I believe you can find him also on iTunes with Beach Cop Detectives, TV Dudes. I think they have your own website and Facebook page. Anything else I'm forgetting, Randy?
Nope, that's where to find us, the tvdudes.com or TV Dudes on Facebook.
Also, a high recommend from me if you are into TV shows and just great talks, or even if you're not, they have some great chemistry or funny guys over there, and they keep it pretty fresh. I like them a lot. So with that, we're going to go into a small musical break, and we'll be back right after this.
Al Pacino's booty sweat, popping ass open.
And welcome back to the spoiler section for Tropic Thunder. Okay, Randy, so I think the first thing we got to start with is my favorite kill of this movie, which I'm pretty sure is your favorite kill as well.
There's no question here.
So the build-up for this is great because Steve Coogan comes in, he's playing the director, they decide to throw the actors into the shit and shoot it all guerrilla style. So he's given this huge big speech about how he's got all these different plans set up and special effects, and that this movie is going to be the best war movie ever. And everyone's all pumped up and ready to go. The music is swelling, like, yeah, let's do it. And then suddenly he steps on a landmine and he blows up.
Yep.
It is glorious.
Yeah, it's one of those like sudden deaths that's so perfectly timed. It's hilarious because you're just in shock. You're like, did they actually just do that?
He blows up in this puff of smoke like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yep. And the payoff to it is so when Ben Stiller finds his head and is just messing around with it because he thinks it's a prop. Oh man, it gets funnier and funnier.
I've been in a lot of special effects films, guys. Look at this. This is just corn syrup. Blood flavored corn syrup. The prosthetic with his head there is just like, it's gross. It looks like real enough, but it has a little level of fakeness to it, so you can still laugh at it.
Yeah.
Prop team did a great job on it. Really good job.
And his mouth flops open and closed, which is a nice little touch.
Yes, where his face is actually moving around.
Yes,
it's very disturbing, but I laugh every time, and I love he gives a little sound that he makes as he steps on it. Like he looks down, he's like, oh, and then
yep.
It's just, man, every aspect of it is just like it just cracks me up every time. It's just very well executed.
I was trying to remember, were there other actual kills in this movie?
No, the thing about it is that there's only one more, because the rest of the time they're using their fake guns with blanks to kind of, scare the enemies by shooting above them, A-Team style.
Right.
But there is one more kill in which Ben Stiller fights an animal in the middle of the woods.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, that one's good, too. That was one I was referring to in the opening part, yes.
Yes.
And man.
This one is also a contender. Like, I like the Steve Coogan one a little bit more, but our main character, Tug, is known for doing great charity work for pandas. So he is in the middle of fighting this, animal in the middle of the Vietnam jungle, and we get the lightning strike to reveal its face, and a panda is staring back up at him.
And not just a panda, it's a baby panda. The fight scene is filmed in such a way that it seems like this wild, dangerous beast, and he stabs to death, and when the lights come up, it is the cutest little dead panda. And it breaks him. It just breaks him.
He goes fucking native. It's messed up. Like he wears the panda's head as a hat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just
it is one of my favorite. And you mentioned Archer earlier. It reminds me of the Archer callback to the dead escort is a hooker. The whole thing where he calls his agent, and his agent just immediately goes into spin control mode of, we've all done it. It's okay. You killed a hooker.
Yeah. No, I've killed a panda. Amanda? Like, look, that wasn't even her real name. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Yeah.
I loved how quickly he was going to pivot to, like, what does he tell him to get? Like, you're going to need, you're going to need some bleach, plastic wrap, and a shitload of lime.
Yeah. He's good to go. He's doing his job as an agent.
How many times have you done this, man?
Yeah. See, I was thinking also the little kid at the end, but he doesn't actually kill the little kid. He just flings him off hilariously into the water.
That's right, because he's also trying to adopt, so he gets a small native boy to be his adopted son, and he goes back for him at the end, and like, I have to go back for my son. I have to go back and be with my people. I have a connection with them. And one of the funniest moments is where he comes back and his adopted son is on his back stabbing him over and over again.
Yep, he's riding him and stabbing him. Yep.
And he flings him off, and it's obviously a dummy, a stunt dummy, but it's still he flings him into the fucking river, and it's just really, really funny.
Yeah.
While we're in the spoiler section, we should talk about some of the other character resolutions too, because I love Robert Downey Jr. as Kirk Lazarus, his resolution is they're trying to get Ben Stiller back from the edge, and Ben Stiller kind of turns it on Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and they like, oh, who are you? No, you're the dude that's lost. Like, no, you're the dude that's playing the dude that's the other dude. And I love Jay Baruchel just comes in like, how insecure are you guys? And like,
that's the moment where Jay Baruchel realizes that both these guys he was looking up to are full of shit, and he actually was more together than them.
Yeah, he's the most competent human being, the most competent adult in the crew, and he's just now realizing it.
He went to boot camp. He knows how to read the map. He actually read the script. Like, he actually is the one who knows how to do the job because he's young enough that he still cares about it.
What do you mean you didn't read the script? Man, script reads me. What does that even mean? Robert Downey Jr. like breaks down and gets back into his Australian character. Like he goes through all of his different other personas first. Like he's breaking them down, like, and getting to the true person on the inside. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's the actor equivalent of when the T2 is melting and you see all its different faces in the end of Terminator 2.
Yes,
which is spoiler for Terminator 2. But we're the spoiler section.
Yes,
don't complain.
All spoilers are fair here.
Spoilers for everything.
Mm-hmm. Rosebud's a sled. Fuck it. But yeah, we even get Jack Black, who, of course, is trying to kick his drug habit, which he fucks up the plan immediately because he takes care. Because he kidnaps the head of the drug cartel, who is also be playing as a small child, and carries him away like, show me where the drugs are. Show me where the fucking drugs are. And we even talk about the sequence where they tied him to a tree, and he's just saying anything to like get out of that tree. Just like, I I swear to God, I will suck your dick. Oh, that reminds me of Al Pacino, which he has the reveal of like him being the stereotypically tough rap star, and they're asking him if he has someone special back home. It's like, what's her name? Lance. I'm sorry, did I just hear Lance? I said Nance.
Yep.
And then I love how Robert Downey Jr.'s like, come on, man, it's Hollywood. We're all gay once in a while.
We're all gays.
And that's what props Jack Black's character go like, I will, if you untie him from this tree, I will suck your dick so hard.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of payoff to this because Jay Baruchel asks, I think it's Robert Downey Jr. if he was dating Jennifer Love Hewitt because he thinks she's really hot. Mm-hmm. And so the tail end is where there's a big award sequence, and then when we see them all, we see that Tug gets his award. It's given to him by Kirk. Lance Bass is out there in the audience with Al Pacino, who has clearly embraced his sexuality and seems much happier. And Jay Baruchel's character is out there with Jennifer Love Hewitt, who he gives a little kiss to. It's great. It's like everybody gets a little happy ending.
And that wasn't a payoff they needed to do. Like that was a really small attention to detail. That was really that was really nice. I actually like that. I do love that Tug actually wins over John Voight, and John Voight looks super pissed.
Yeah.
Like, God, fuck! Like this. That's great. They had like pictures of all the Oscar nominees that were up that year, and I think it was like Sean Penn was like a blind guy reading like the Bible in Braille or something. Like they all had these great thumbnails that I'm actually very curious about these movies in that universe. Of like, what was that? Like,
Stiller has definitely done enough time in Hollywood that he had plenty of things to make fun of Hollywood about in there. So,
but yeah, very, very funny. I do like we should talk about Matthew McConaughey's turn as well, because he comes through for Tug. Tugger nuts, as he likes to call him, which is very gross. It makes me uncomfortable every time. But of course, the TiVo clause comes back into it. When he first gets kidnapped, he thinks he's going to another agency, and it's like I'm on the phone, I'm out the door, I'm putting my jacket on. He goes to see Tom Cruise, and there's a big showdown. Tom Cruise gives a great lines when he's arguing with the kidnappers, like we don't negotiate with terrorists, after he calls them fuckfaces and hangs up.
He doesn't know they're terrorists. He thinks they're another agency.
Yes.
He's also just arguing. And the great thing is, at the tail end of that, he says to his agent, or he says to one of his assistants, he's like, find out who that was.
Yeah, find out who that was. Fuck that guy.
He has no idea. He just goes right to his ballistic motions of attacking whoever is attacking him. Yeah.
You listen to me. China is my territory. You will have to get a United Nations a peace accord to keep me from fucking you. It's just this. It's this great Ari Gold level rant. That's really fun.
He's over the top, and it's fantastic.
But when they do realize Tug is actually in trouble, they realize that the insurance claim would actually net them more than the money than the movie would obviously lose. And Matthew McConaughey is like, they kind of try and seduce him to the dark side with a G5 and money to apple bottom jeans as Tom Cruise dances, which is
it's one of the best things.
Which is another great, just his weird fucking dance of just like what he thinks high rollers dance like or like.
And it's so dirty. It's so gross and uncomfortable. And what's even better is that Bill Hader is back there playing the worst, most uncomfortable hype man in the world.
He's his toady that's in the back, just like the chorus round, like he's the backup dancer to Tom Cruise's thing. It's just a great sequence, guys. Like everyone in the scene is just firing on all cylinders. I'm surprised there's no blooper sequence for this movie where everyone you have to imagine that. Did no one laugh during that take? No one really. Come on, just in the background with Tom Cruise being ridiculous. I have to assume someone fucked it up. Like some grip was like, "Oh my god, this is way too funny." But yeah, Matthew McConaughey, he shows up out of nowhere near the end of the movie. I got the TiVo. He's in the middle of the jungle, out of nowhere. They're trying to get on the helicopter. There's a rocket launcher that gets shot at the helicopter. He throws the TiVo up in the air to defend his client, his friend. And it's just like, oh my god, what a great. He runs off from the jungle, I assume to safety. I don't know.
Yeah.
We never really see him again, but I like to think he made it.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, what a great! I did not expect that for whatever reason. Like, there's a lot of happy endings to this movie that I just didn't seem to expect. I think we hit everything major. Was there anything else?
Yeah. Well, the only real thing to talk about is the outro. This doesn't have a post-credit sequence, but it kind of has an active credit sequence because they close out with Tom Cruise dancing.
Yes, there's another dance sequence, and it's intercut with other parts of the movie, like previous parts of the movie, but then there's also footage that I guess that's kind of not a blooper reel, but there's extra footage. Like there's Jack Black dancing with some sort of stripper in the middle of the jungle or something, and there's there's stuff that were these scenes that were cut out or just weren't used or something. I'm not sure.
Right.
I never actually got the DVD of this movie, so I wasn't able to check out the deleted scenes or anything. But,
right, and I haven't either. I had the DVD, but I don't think I watched not as much of the back end stuff.
Yeah, but again, it's Tom Cruise dancing again, so what's not to love? It's really funny. Oh, also,
it's a great way to go out.
The soundtrack for this movie too. They play all the stereotypical Vietnam War movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's
perfectly used. Yeah,
yeah. It's Sympathy for the Devil. It's what was some other there's some Creedence in there, I think, if I'm remembering right. But it's all the songs you always hear from that section in the Forrest Gump or any any Vietnam War movie ever. Basically, it's kind of like the movie saying like this is the last time. Come on, guys, we got to pick out a new soundtrack for these movies.
Yeah, because they're in on the joke. It's a meta joke. It's this is all the Vietnam music, and it both works because of what they're doing, and it's also a jab at how lazy music use can be, which is an impressive little trick. But there's also some of them they use Name of the Game for the when they're going into the jungle, and that's a great little track.
Yeah,
and then both the tracks that Les Grossman dances to are also really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the track that it actually plays in the credits too with Nick Nolte introducing. Oh, we forgot to mention Nick Nolte has hands. Nick Nolte.
Right, Nick Nolte has hands. That's The four leaf Tabak is a complete fraud. He served in the Coast Guard in the custodial unit.
Danny McBride feels so betrayed.
Yes.
And I love that everyone slowly learns it out. Everyone learns individually so that they go holy fuck, you have hands? Or
yes.
or Robert Downey Jr., I think he's crikey, fuck, you've got hands.
Yeah.
I just love how it's a small thing that oh, that's right, this person does not know that yet. I keep forgetting not everyone's up to speed because this ending is so crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jack Black, it's a great moment where he gets to resist the drugs too, and like and shove some other drugs into the other drug cartel's face, and he's like, we gotta hurry, there's only 16 hours before they wake up. And, yeah, everyone gets this is what I like about this movie, is that even though it's a comedy, they take the time to give everyone their moment of resolution so that everyone's character arc feels complete and no one feels like they were left out. Like everyone feels like they were a very important part of this movie. So yeah, just some great filmmaking work on that end of it. And with that, I think we can bring this spoiler segment to an end. Another great Netflix and Kill. Thank you so much, Randy.
Yeah, it's fun to be here.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can have you on again in the future, and hopefully you'll have a pick that's just as great, because I got to tell you, I had a great time revisiting.
Yeah, this is one that I watch pretty regularly.
Yeah, I think it might have to go on my regular rotation too, because I forgot how much I liked it. But with that, we're going to wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, go check out the TV Dudes and, some of our, our stuff as well. Check us out on Facebook and iTunes and all that good jazz. And until next week, we are off. And we're out.